Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online TV program where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively, and at the same time to celebrate the positive news and events all around South Africa and Africa. Yes, my name is Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, also known as Dr. Mama K. And in today's program to share his story is my brother. Yeah, I told you I have a lot of brothers. Yeah, you have so much brothers. It's unbelievable. He's the multi-talented artist, musician, MC, author, poet. What else? I could go on and on. Mr. Dennis Stander, who is the founder, director, and a servant leader for Men Stand Tall, which is an NPO based in Cape Town, South Africa. My brother Dennis. Yes, I could go on and on about,
okay, you can go on. You can go
on. Wow, you are so multi-talented and multi-skilled. So let's start first. Who is Dennis? Who is Dennis?
Dr. Mama K, I was born here in Cape Town, about a kilometer away from where I'm living now. Down the street, born and raised in a place called Bridgetown.
Okay.
I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. I'm the baby. In our
last born.
Yeah, the last born. Yes. They
So
they say for the youngest, they say with the laat lammertjies.
Okay, what does that mean?
I'm 10 years apart from the one before me.
And are you really 10 years apart from
Yes.
her? Okay.
Yeah, my sister's 10 years older than me.
Wow.
So I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
Yes. I took her title away.
She thought she was the last because 10 years is a long one. Wow.
It's a long one.
So did your parents decide, okay, we're going to try one more?
I don't know.
You didn't ask them.
And look, I think I surprised them because my birthday's on the 1st of April. I don't know if they thought it was a fool.
Okay. You did surprise them.
Yeah.
So you were born in Bridgetown?
Yeah. I grew up in Cape Town.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm the youngest of 4. Grew up in the church.
Okay.
My father was an elder in the church. So I grew up in the Baptist church.
Right.
And I knew church from small already. Falling asleep in church, waking up in church. Church was my life for a long time. And there came a point in my life where I wanted to search for an identity of myself.
Okay.
And by searching for that identity, I went into different vices and tried different things. Yeah.
Okay. And are we allowed to ask what kind of vices?
Yeah.
Because if you grew up in the church and you would think, for most of us, that's a safe environment, and with having a father that's an elder, how did you go and what vices? What kind of vices?
Okay. So
if you are okay to share that.
Yeah, for sure. And I love sharing this. So my father, as I said, was an elder in the church, and he took that responsibility. And at an age of 13 already, I decided, no man, I don't want to be that. And so I started nibbling, going around trying things like cigarettes and alcohol, knowing that if my father will caught me, he'll lay hands and feet on me. But I went on an identity search. So this identity search took me on a road of alcohol. I then went into drugs, smoking dagga. But on this journey also, Dr. Mama K, what was important to me is that I had a strong mind. I could stop and start whenever I wanted to.
Right.
Or that is what I believed.
I was just going to say that. Okay.
That is what I believed. And so from dagga, I went on to doing your mandrax, and they call it rock. So that's hard cocaine. And I could control those kind of things. And I wasn't in a crowd of
You thought you could control
there you
even
go.
at that time.
Yes, yes, because with those drugs, I said I stop and I stop. So the only thing that I didn't do was heroin. But all the other drugs I tried. I dabbled and dabbled in it, and when I said I stopped, I stopped. And then the latter years of my addiction, I tried crystal meth, which they call tik here in Cape Town. And I thought I could stop and I couldn't. And I was enslaved on tik for 3 years. So I was an addict for about 13, 14 years of my life.
And that's drugs and alcohol.
No, an alcoholic. I've been probably 20, 24 years.
Okay.
The stop and go, the stop and go, the stop and go. And so searching for an identity in vices was my feed, my hunger. And like I said, with Tuk, I couldn't stop. And I had to come to a point where I had to decide. There was 3 things that played on my mind. One was suicide. And I made myself a noose, so I know how suicide is a real thing. And I know how drugs, because you're outside of yourself, plays a role in suicide. And then because I thought I had a brilliant mind still, I thought, Dennis, now, Dr. Mamake, this is just my logic. I don't know if any other people have logic like this. But I thought, Dennis, why kill yourself? Why? And I made myself a noose to hang myself. And I thought, no, Dennis, don't kill yourself. Kill others. So I turned the killing around from suicide to wanting to murder. And then I plotted where I could get guns, where I could go, and who I'm gonna. And I don't even know these people that I wanted to kill, but the battle was in the mind, because that is what drugs do to you.
The battlefield of the mind.
And then the third one was my mirror image, my mirror experience, where your voice just said, Dennis, go look in the mirror. And at that time, I wasn't as well-rounded as I am now. Okay, I
like the way you put it. I'm very well-rounded as well.
I was thin. And when I looked in the mirror, the reflection in the mirror showed me a skeleton of who I am. Showed me a skeleton of who I am, and who I was born to be was sitting at the bottom and saying, reach out to me. Reach out to me.
At what age was that?
That was at, I think I was 30.
Yeah.
I was 30.
All right.
Around about that.
From the 13-year-old.
Yeah. And from 13 to 30, I was on and off. Some of my friends called me a winter Christian, because in winter then I'm a Christian, but some of them then I'm on another path. But then I just replaced the drugs with alcohol. And I made a statement that I drank to forget. Ask me what I wanted to forget, I will tell you when I remember.
Okay.
And that's how deep it was. So alcohol became my vice.
And like a circle.
Yeah, it's like a circle. And it took very long for me to come out of alcohol.
So that's going to be my next question. How and when did you, even though you said, when you looked in the mirror, you know, the 3 choices you had, and you looked in the mirror and that voice that said, so was it at that point, and how are you now from then? I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, so I'll take you to the beginning when I said I was born in the Baptist church.
Yes.
And I told you I fell asleep in church, I woke up in church. So I say that because I knew how to play church.
Which a lot of
I knew how to
people do.
dress church. I knew how to sound church, when to sound church, and when to do church. So I knew about the Holy Spirit. I knew about the speaking in tongues. I knew all these things, but it was knowledge.
Yeah.
This season that I'm in now, Dr. Mamake, is my encounter with Christ, where He's become real to me. Where before in church, I used to recite scriptures out of the Bible because that is what they expected of us when we did Sunday school anniversaries. We did scripture exams as Baptists, where we had to write an exam over the Bible. So I knew the scriptures, but I didn't live the scriptures. And there's a difference.
Yeah.
And that is why I speak about my encounter. And my encounter actually happened here in this home.
Wow.
A few years back, about 2-3 years back. My true encounter with Christ within COVID. Yeah. So that's a story that I want to tell you about.
I'm just seeing us already planning a part 2 because I haven't even had some of what I need to ask. And this section, for me is so important for us to talk more about it, because what you're sharing for me and from what I've heard and the conversations I've had with a lot of people in the community, especially the deprived and disadvantaged community, is what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah.
And I believe they'll want to hear that story, although I know everybody's path is probably, different.
Yeah.
So we whew, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. This is deep.
Yeah.
So I would want to hear that encounter, and I believe I want to go more into, even from the beginning, that encounter on a program on its own.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're going to be here, I believe, for a long time.
Yes.
So on that note, we'll be right back. Wow, my brother Dennis, born the baby of the family in Bridgetown, Cape Town. And, your parent, dad especially, was an elder in church, grew up in the church, and you shared that powerful journey for, back and forth, with drugs and alcohol. And you shared it so real, so, the battlefield, if you said, of the mind, there. And before we went on the break there, and I know I did say we'll probably come back to it in another program, but I feel I want us to hear it if we are comfortable with sharing that encounter that you had. Because I believe that encounter, led to other seasons of your life. So please.
Sure. Yeah. So let me say this happened in the COVID period, my encounter. At that time I was still drinking profusely. And remember in lockdown, all the bottle stores closed.
Yeah.
My wife, Tanya, that's my wife now, we weren't married yet. Okay. So we made our own wine from pineapple juice, with pineapples and apples and all those kind of things. And it would make us drunk that my wife and my sister used to walk against the walls. And one morning she woke up and I thought that she's still a bit drunk. And she said she had a dream that God said that I'm going to be a pastor and that she must stand with me. And I told her, yes, I think you drank too much.
Poor time.
I think you drank too much. I think you need more. But not knowing that that time God was working with us. So my wife and I, we got married in lockdown. So I said we got locked down in lockdown. and in that time, God birthed something within the both of us.
Right.
And a few months after our marriage, God spoke to me, my encounter, and said, I need you for a time such as this. And it happened here in this house, because I lived with my sister in Kales River, and we moved over here, and God started speaking. And he spoke to me about the church. He spoke to me and told me what the church looks like. So we grew up that the church is a building. And in my encounter, God said, look, it's locked down. So how are you going to become the priest of the home? Because that's where it starts. So I started getting into the Word, reading the Word for understanding, praying. And with my wife, we prayed. And it wasn't that lockdown, it was when we just had that release that I did a musical for a church for Christmas, over the Christmas period. And not knowing that somebody in the audience was positive. And we came home, and in this journey also, my wife gave her heart to the Lord. She can, I would like her to share her story. I don't want to tell her story, because she had her own encounter. And then we came home, and the Tuesday the pastor called and he said, well, we have to isolate. So it's my wife and I that were living here at the time. Our baby wasn't born yet, and my mom and my sister as well. So my mom at the time was 85 years old. And we isolated, and my mom gave me my father's anointing oil. And my father passed on about 4 years ago. So to me it was an honor. Before, like I said, I was raucous. So my mom didn't really see the side of Dennis. But she kept on praying. And that's important, that she kept on praying. Yeah, that's the power of a woman. And men find their strength in women. And she kept on praying, and for my mom to give this to me, it was an honor. And at that time I asked her, Mom, can I anoint you and pray for you? And she said yes. So the baby praying for his mom, what an honor. And I went into the room with my wife, and we started sharing the word and God unpacking the word. And my wife that didn't grow up in church, they were thrown out of the church, so she didn't know church. She didn't know church like I know church, how to play church. So her encounter was even more real than mine. Because she started seeing God in things that were growing, that we planted at the back. And God started speaking through nature to her. And then God said, here's where it starts, the priest of the home. And so many a times,
personal relationship.
There you go. And the creation, why we were created, the image and likeness of God that was created in us from Adam. God started opening these things, and he asked me, so why 4 walls? Why do you limit me in 4 walls? So on a Sunday, I must go to church to get a good word.
And then come home and it's...
Yeah, and it's a good word. And on Monday, it's a nice word. By Wednesday, it's a forgotten word. And now I wait for the Sunday again. And this is where I learned to become a man. What it is to be a man.
So I would love to hear more, and even your wife's journey, like you said, at some point. I'm now thinking, men stand tall. How, when did this happen? And why the name? Men stand tall.
Okay. I told you I've anointed my mom. And my wife and I, we started praying. And the next day, I started anointing every pillar and post in this house.
In the house.
Wow. By your stripes we are healed. By your stripes we are healed. And Dr. Mama K, after and half an hour after that, my mom became terribly sick. That she had to go to the doctor. I took her to the doctor. And the doctor said she must go to Grooteskier Hospital. So at the time they said, if you're a certain age and you go to hospital, you're not coming out. My mom was 85 at that time. And I took my mom to the emergency at Grooteskier. And I sat her down, and she didn't want to go. And I said, this is what you need to do. And I didn't say goodbye to my mom. Now remember, I anointed the house, I anointed my mom. So I'm this kind of person. I question a lot of things in my life. So I went to go sit on my mom's bed, and I cried, and I said, Lord, was the oil that I used, was it maybe expired? That's oh Lord, did I pray wrong? Because now I want to take onus on myself. Because the way I understood healing was physically. So my mom was in hospital over Christmas. My mom was in hospital over New Year's. She came home the 5th of January. The 7th of January, I sat on the bed and she said, come I share with you. There were times I didn't share this with you when I was in hospital with the children, because I didn't want you to worry. But there was times that I was on my knees crawling, because COVID hits you here. So you become disillusioned. She was crawling, not knowing where she was, cold sweats, looking at doctors and nurses walking past because she's in an isolation booth. And she felt the hand of God says, be still, I am here. And that was the game changer for me. When my mom shared that with me, that be still, I am here. God said, you've prayed for healing in the physical, but I do a holistic healing, spiritual, emotional, everything that you asked for, that you didn't even know you're asking for, that's what I heal. And that was the birth of Men Stand Tall.
Wow.
And Men Stand Tall motto is, men stand tall when on our knees we fall. Where does the strength lie? On our knees. So the reason why
on our knees
we fall, men stand tall when on our knees we fall. So where are we as men in this race called the human race? Where are we positioned in our families first? Are we the priests of our homes? Where are we positioned in the communities? Are we the light and salt of our communities? Where are we in society? How are we portrayed or seen? So all these fruits that we have campaigns against, how present are we as men? So when I speak about the fruits, I'm talking about gender-based violence. I'm talking about gangsterism. I'm talking about drug dealers, all the social ills. How present are we as men? Because Dr. Mamake, when I look at it, and you go to marches concerning gender-based violence, for example, there are just women, and not even a handful of men. So are we saying the perpetrator represents me as a man? Sure. Where's the image and likeness of God in it?
Wow. That's deep stuff. You know what? I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. We'll be right back. Wow. Men stand tall when on our knees we fall.
Yeah.
That's a powerful one. And I know in the break there we were just chatting and the conversation kept going again. You know, about the fact that the perception is men are not supposed to cry.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm going to come again back to the beginning of Adam and Eve. When we were created. And this is how God just speaks to me now. That's why I say the word is alive to me.
And it should be for all of us.
I'm in my encounter with God. So he opens the word to me and he says, I created you, man, in the image and likeness. From dust, I created you. I created you and I gave you authority over the birds in the sky, creatures and animals on earth, and even in the sea. Yet God saw us as men, as being lonely. Aren't we hard work already, Mama Kay? As men? And then he didn't go back to the dust. He took a rib from us. And he created, whoa, man. Because that's what we said when we saw you the first time. Whoa, man. He didn't go back to the dust. So now look what we say as men. Whoa, women are so emotional. They just want to speak about this and that. Emotional. They got a rib from us, Mama Kay. So who is the embodiment of emotions? Men. Society taught us. Westernization, thinking taught us. This is how we've been programmed. That cowboys don't cry, that men don't cry, that you suppress your emotions instead of expressing your emotions. So by suppressing, can we see the fruits of gender-based violence?
Yeah.
Can we see the fruits of gangsterism? Can you see the fruits of all the social ills that we are facing? Because men should not show emotions. And I'm learning that the more I express my emotions in the right way, I become stronger as a man. Because now I am in control of what happens in this engine called my soul. And that allows me to express. So I cry. I cry when I laugh. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I don't know even where to turn. Because on my addiction, I turned to suicide then also. So I know what it is. And I said, like, I use the mirror image. So I've written a comedy show around my life called One Man Stand. And it's my life, and I call it reflective comedy. And I use two elements in the comedy. I use the stage because I love the stage from small. And I use the mirror as well, because I love the mirror. And who doesn't love a mirror? And through the play, you will see how me going into trying vices, like the alcohol, the drugs, and those, how the mirror disappears and the stage as well. Because now my focus is not that anymore. And in the play, somehow in the play, when I'm on my drugs, I take you through the mind of a drug addict as well. Because we see it. We see the guy walking down the street talking to himself, right? And we sit back and we say, oh man, that guy is high on drugs. But do you know that is his reality? Because I was in that reality. And I take you through that reality where I heard people speak to me in a place called Sunflay. The whole of Sunflay is speaking about Dennis. But it's what's playing in my mind. I could see them, their mouths formulating, speaking against me. But they weren't really, but it's in my head. I saw the cops coming from a distance in the van speaking about me. That's my reality. And that is what drove me to want to commit suicide and all those feelings. And with alcohol as well. With alcohol, I told you I drank to forget. And how you got this false confidence, that's what I say, false confidence in what you do when you want to speak to women and you think you're the man. But when you are left alone with your mirror, what do you experience? So a drug addict you can see by the eye. You can see him. Physically you can see that's an addict walking up and down. An alcoholic you can see physically. But Mama Kay, what do you see when you stand in the mirror? What do you see when you stand in the mirror? These things inside can't be seen with the physical eye. But when you look in that mirror, what reflects back to you? And that is the image of God that we miss. We're here to fix other people, or so we think. Yet in the mirror, we are broken.
Wow. Men Stand Tall. What activities and projects do you do?
So we I won't say interventions. We have sit-downs. We have what we call menversations.
Right.
Where we get
menversations. I like that.
Yes. Where we get men together, Dr. Mama Kay, where we speak about things like, do men cry? Am I my brother's keeper? Though we address things like this, but we address it in a no prejudice or judgment that is with it. We don't want to leave there talking to others about, so that you're comfortable. And I believe that when we start sharing as men, we take ourselves away from being isolated. Because that's what it does. Your thoughts isolate you. And it drives anxiety. It drives depression. And there is need, or there is things that you need to help you get through it. And we just create a group where we just come together. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, your religion. God
and
didn't.
What age range of men?
Doesn't matter, because we all go through. We all go through what we call stuff. We go through it. Again, when here in Cape Town, you know, South Africa, we like our braais. Yes. So when we come together at the braai, all the women, they come together and they talk. They can talk about everything, anything, and they will even create something.
Yes.
Yes.
Viva women.
We as men, it's very, very hard for us to speak about emotions. So
there's
we
always
go
politics,
sports. Yes.
and you don't talk about emotion. Yes.
But look again, I'm going to come back to society. Back again, when women, when they grew up as girls, majority of them grew up with the doll, grew up with having tea parties. You grew up to be nurturers.
Yes.
Majority of the men, we got cars and guns. How did that prepare us to be fathers?
In fact, yeah, I just what you've just said now, especially with the guns, the toy guns. I was struggling recently, you know, as well, when I saw a young girl playing with the toy gun, you know, and just what you're saying, you know, about what preparation is that and what value, you know, especially in the society that we have now. Whew. Anyway. Yeah. So how does that prepare them?
Yeah. So we speak about these kind of things.
Right.
And I think when we start unwrapping these root issues, the fruits will change.
I agree.
And we can't. And our motto, or my motto, is I can change the world, one person at a time.
Yeah.
So the message I have is not for everyone; it's for the one. Yeah. I hope you're the one.
So in terms of Men Stand Tall now, you know, and I know you do a lot. What are the needs? You know, for your organization, what do you need? What, you know, is it support? Is it funding? What specifically are your needs?
Mama K, right now, I use One Man Stand, my comedy show. I use it as an awareness tool.
Yeah.
So the need is to link up with organizations that deals with the social ills that we've mentioned, so that we can do One Man Stand. So I facilitate as well. So One Man Stand is the awareness tool, and then there's facilitation guides that follows as well. So I want to get into communities, faith-based, doesn't matter where, who, how, government, doesn't matter. I want to get the message out there. And I work with guys that were addicts. Yeah. So those are my brothers that I work with. They were addicts, they in the play with me as well. So One Man Stand was maybe, it started off, it's Dennis' story, but all our stories are linked to it. And the One Man Stand has actually turned into, so who stands with inside you? Are you grabbing onto vices, or are you holding onto the garment?
Wow. You know, you wear so many hats. I don't even know where or which way to go. Is it the facilitator role? Is it the MC role? Is it the artist?
Yes.
Is it the comedian?
Yeah.
How did you get into performing arts, you know, as a role? And what?
Dr. Mamaka, you will never believe this.
Okay, right? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I said, like in One Man Stand also, I portray this. From small, I love the stage. That's the church where you recite things out of the Bible. And at the age of 13, so my family, they're very talented. My cousins, they had a group, and they're all older than me. They had a group, a gospel group, and they sang. I sat and I looked at them, and I want to be like them. And I was in a rap crew. I had a friend, my friend and I, we were a rap crew. And when I was 13, they invited us to open the show for them at a place called the Joseph Stone here in Athlone.
Okay.
They say that's the biggest platform for a Cape Flats guy like me, 13 years old. So you can imagine there's 550 people sitting there, Mama K. my cousin gave us the words for the rap the Sunday afternoon and the concert is the Sunday evening. I said that was a recipe for a star, a disaster. Because when the curtains opened, Mama, okay, my friend was beatboxing and I had the mic and I had to rap and I got stage fright.
You just froze.
I just felt like, nothing coming out of my mouth. And you know, like with the rap artists, they get the people hyped up. And I thought this is going to help me. And I'm like telling the people, throw your hands up in the air. Yeah, yeah. And I'm supposed to have 13 years old on the biggest platform for myself. And I got stage fright. Yet in matric, I decided I'm going to tackle the stage again.
Okay.
And a Valentine's Day program that our school had, I sang for the first time.
Right.
And after singing, my teacher, my sir came to me and he said, Dennis, I want you to go into this audition with students from around the Western Cape.
Okay.
Go audition, I think you'll make it. And I went to audition and I then took part in a play called Who Killed Jimmy Valentine? That was in 95. And we performed at the Baxter. And then I decided to study drama for 3 years. So I have my honors in speech and drama.
Awesome.
Yeah. But it just shows also your failure can lead you to your success. I'm learning in this journey called life that you fall, we all fall.
Yeah.
But get up.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that leads me to my next bit, which you've started very well. There about that snippet you just shared there. Share with us more some of your life lessons, you know, over the years, based on that journey, that interesting, unique journey you've had over the years. So you've just said, you know, one is, your failure can lead to your success.
Yeah.
So what other key life lessons, if you were going to share with a younger Dennis at 13 years old, that you will say, okay, this is, can you share with us?
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with choice.
Right.
And a search for an identity. Even more so now with all the technology that is around, with you have your media people that's on media, that's standing out and you want to be them. But you can only be the best you can be. And you're not going to find it in vices. It's inside of you. I can't be the next Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. I can't be Dr. Mama K, but I can be the best Dennis.
Yeah.
And what I'm learning still is that if Dr. Mama K is the best Dr. Mama K and Dennis is the best Dennis, then together we go further. So don't isolate who you are. Share who you are. Because as your fingerprint is unique to you, so is the blueprint on your life unique to you. The world needs you. The world needs me. That's what I would have said to Dennis back in the day.
We'll need to have a short break, a breather, and we'll be right back. There's a lot in there. And I'll definitely want to revisit, you know, and to hear more. Because I have so much questions. It's just coming and you say something, I have that question and you keep going. But I want to hear, you know, to give you this final question, which for me is important to know. I know you're involved already with, you know, a lot of solutions, you know, in addressing some of the social ills, you know, we have in South Africa and across Africa because it's similar. Drugs, addiction, you know, we have it, you know, everywhere from Zimbabwe, Ghana, Somalia, we have it in different, you know, form. What would you say, based on your knowledge and your experience, are some of the solutions, even if it's not you that's going to do whatever you come up with, but what are some of the solutions, practical solutions, to addressing some of this social ills? And whether you have any other thing you're passionate about, because I know you're involved using football, as a way, as a solution to addressing some of these things. So what are some of the solutions to some of the social ills we have?
Mama Kay, I work with different organizations like rehabilitation centers and restoration centers. Before, I used to think that a rehab is a false community, because you're taking somebody out of their community, placing them into a community to rehabilitate, and when they come out, they're going to go back onto drugs. So I used to think a rehab is the false community. I've learned now that the community that we are on the outside of a rehab is the false community.
Okay.
How prepared are we, Mama Kay, for the person that's in a rehab coming out? Are we equipped? Are we accountable to them? Let me rather say that. So accountability is important. Not only from the family suffered a lot. With an addict like me, I know what my mom went through. So the accountability is for us on the outside. To say, when somebody's in a rehab from my community, to say, yeah I am Dennis, I'm going to walk with you. You're not going to go sit in that same circle. And a friend of mine, he uses this example. He says, you never go to a barber shop to go buy food. You go for a haircut. So why do you go to a bar for a cool drink? Because that cool drink, that glass of Coke, you can only drink 1 or 2. And then after that, that Coke is not going to taste nice. And then a cider will do. And the cider will lead to a beer, and a beer to few beers. Then it's the whiskey, and that's how the spiral continues. So when you come out of a rehab, why go sit in the circle and think you can change those people? So I want to be the one that is accountable to you, and you accountable to me. That is what I see as my brother's keeper, as my sister's keeper.
Wow. This is deep. And like I said, I am excitedly looking forward to a part 2 of this, whereby, we just hear more about the work you're doing, your struggles, your challenge, what even motivates you, as a person, your values. Some, you've shared some things in here, and I can pick on them. But I know we've run completely out of time now. And I can't wait, as well, to come and watch you perform, especially nice. The comedy, one-man comedy you're doing. And, I celebrate you. I honor you for all you're doing in the community, for putting back, into the lives of others, so real, and, showing your vulnerable side, and sharing your journey unashamedly, where you're not, it's not something I'm sure you're proud of. However, you feel sharing it, would help somebody, and I'm sure it is happening. That one man, that one man, that you're speaking to. So kudos, for all you're doing. Thank you for impacting lives positively all around the area of Bridgetown and within Cape Town. And I'm sure I can't wait, to work more with you and see how we can collaborate more, how we can partner together to get this message and be out there, to support our men and our boy child, at the end of the day. So the men continue to stand tall, and wish you all the very best. We will share some of your programs. I don't know whether there's a program coming up soon, at the end, and how people can reach you. We'll share that at the end of the program. But in closing, I always get all our guests to do that, and you're not going to escape doing that. I want you to just give words of encouragement to young men struggling with drugs or alcohol, or boy child, or anyone, I don't know, anyone you feel God is leading you to speak to right now.
Sure.
I want you to just give any word of encouragement.
It's not easy. Life is not easy. I don't know your circumstance. I can just share from where I come from. I didn't come out of a broken home, but I was broken. And so whatever vices there is that the world offers, it breaks you even further. So I want to say to the boy that is searching for an identity, look deep within inside yourself. Know that you're the best and that you won't settle for less. That is my affirmation that I use, that I'm the best, I won't settle for less. So if something takes me away from who I am and what I want to be, then I say I'm the best, I won't settle for less. For you, that man that needs to make choices in life, say that I'm the best, I won't settle for less. We know when we do right and how it feels, but we also know how it feels when we do wrong. Let's turn more to the right than the wrong. You are the best. Don't settle for less. I'm going to leave you with that.
Wow. Deep. You are the best. Don't settle for the less. There's so much there. Your failure can lead to your success.
Yeah.
So much phrases and quotes, that I feel are powerful. And, I hope, that one person, and I am sure that one person, heard you loud and clear. I celebrate you, my brother Dennis Stander, founder, director of Men Stand Tall. And we wish you all the best, your family, Tanya, and your princess, a beautiful princess. All the very best. And we pray that God will continue to guide your step to be a blessing as you've been to others.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mama K. I really appreciate this. This is a blessing to me.
Wow, that's all we've got time for. It's been one program. You'll probably notice all the different lightning in there. Yeah, load shedding is real in South Africa at the moment. So, but we're still blessed.
Yeah.
For the sun, we've made the best of the moment. Till next time on Impact Africa, we say stay safe, stay blessed. Remember, God is love, and I love you all. Much love. What do we say? I need a cue from you now.
You need to say what I say. Men stand tall.
Men stand tall.
When on our knees we fall.
When on our knees we fall.